think we're on the screen. Maybe we should kick ourselves off. Hold on. How do we do that, Nikki?
I don't know.
Magic mystery, move with the celestial sea, real sky rising wild and free, flowing cosmic
I think it's supposed to like automatically show up. So then we're like back, you know, like it's on the next one. I don't know.
This is so cool. I love that song so much. That is so cool.
I'm so glad you like it. Alice liked it too. I struggled, you guys. I wanted to be able to dance to it because the normal one we do, you know, it's got a nice beat to it and you can kind of bounce around a little bit. So.
Oh, hell yeah. I was dancing over here. I don't know if you saw me, but I was like.
Hopefully, I don't know. It could be like super loud too. I don't know if the music's too loud. You guys are going to have to let us know. Welcome everyone to another fabulous episode of Sidereal Astrology, Myth, Magic, Mysteries, and more. We got a new logo. Had a new thumbnail that I accidentally posted. The logo is the thumbnail. I don't know if that's going to help or hinder us. We'll see what happens. We also switched from StreamYard to Restream, which is definitely better, but still trying to figure it out here. Like $60 a month better, you guys. Plus, like it's got like way cooler stuff. I don't even know how that's possible. So that's pretty exciting.
I know this is it's like moving into a new dorm room or something, or like rearranging the furniture in your bedroom, and now it's like a new me. You know?
Yeah. I put the Christmas tree away, guys. I know you can't tell, but I decided to leave the Christmas lights up. You guys just got to learn to love it. So
I love it. I love the twinkling behind you. It's
nice to have lights sometimes.
Yeah.
You guys, we had an awesome event. We had the Sidereal Rising podcast last week. That went great, but even better. Okay, I think even better was the workshop that we did. It was phenomenal. So you guys, the only way you're going to get that replay is if you are a member. So definitely become an ISAA member. You guys, it's $40 for the year. If you, well, 39, 38, 39, something like that for the student membership. If you're not a professional astrologer, if you are a practicing professional, consider getting the professional membership because you also get listed in the members directory. And I know I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff. We have a bunch of events coming up. They're in the video description, or you can go to the website. I don't know. What am I forgetting, Nikki?
Oh yeah. So our next one is going to be with Gary, and he's going to be visiting the Vedic New Year. So we're going to be taking a look at the New Year Vedic style with Gary, and it's going to be amazing. So we'll meet with him on March 11th. That's a Wednesday. Will be our podcast then with him, and then that Saturday the 14th we'll have his workshop, and I'm excited. I like love Vedic. I've got this like, oh, I don't know, romanticism around Vedic where I'm like, oh, it's so pretty, it's so beautiful. They come up with a lot of really cool like things, but when I go to try to learn it, I'm like,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot, and it does remind me of Hellenistic, and I remember buying both Chris Brennan's book and I forget her name. She's also a Hellenistic. They're both tropical. I returned them both, and this was years ago, and I didn't even know about True Sky because I was like, this is not for me. I'm not into that. All the rules, there's too many. It's too many to remember. It's like having to learn algebra.
Hey, speaking of remembering stuff.
What
day are we on Lady Spellbreaker's show? Is that, I thought that was March 10th. Is that
no, she's doing our show, and we're going to be doing it on March 16th. So instead of the March 18th live stream that we usually do on Wednesdays, it'll be on Monday instead.
Okay. I just was making sure it wasn't back to back with Gary's, but it's actually the next week. Okay.
Yeah. I know. I was actually worried about that too. Now that you mentioned it, I had like a little panic attack. I was like,
No, we got to figure it out.
Yeah. This last Wednesday's podcast was incredible. We had Don Bird and Beth Hansen. We had
Don Patak.
Patak, yeah, Bird. He goes by Bird because his Patak is.
Does he?
Bird. Well, it means bird. I can't remember if it's
like
Polish or something. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember, but I just say Don Bird.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, Michael does too, and I'm like, I don't know. Is this the like I was? What are we talking about?
Right? Yeah, Michael Hardigan was there. Fran Arnett. And then us, we were there at the Wednesday podcast. Yes. And then
Elif was there.
Did she pop in on Wednesday, or did she pop in on Saturday?
Saturday.
She popped in on Saturday.
Yeah, it was great.
Elif is awesome. She knows a little bit about Egyptian mythology and astrology. She does really cool stuff with archaeology. Yeah, archaeologist. And she's mentioned different projects that she's been working on. So, and she's a student of Dr. Rumen Koloff, who we had one of our first podcasts with. So yeah, he's like a wizard. So we love him.
Yeah.
He knows like all the stories, just full of wisdom. So we're always super happy when people drop in and want to just talk about like their interpretation of what's happening and what they're seeing, because we're all so different, and this conjunction is still happening. It's so weird. It's not like a one and done and the vibe is off. Like it's really resetting like the whole like energy wise. It just feels weird. Like remember back in the 90s, there was a stretch of time where everything felt like pretty okay. Well, okay, maybe that's not a good example. The 90s were pretty moody. We had like all the grunge music and we had all the but we weren't dealing with the kind of shit we were dealing with now. So
it was a different world for sure.
Different world. Yeah. And that's what we're stepping into. We're stepping into a different world with these lines of conjunctions that we've had. 2020 really marked it for us. This is the vibe. So this is what we're dealing with. And some of it's good, some of it's like eek. Yeah, I don't know. It's been it's been fun to keep track of everything. Look at the past patterns, look at the history of, just Saturn and Neptune when we got together last week was pretty awesome. We saw that it definitely kicks off a lot of political change, social change. And we talked about a few different, countries where it was prevalent, where we saw it, happening, and all the way back. And it was really cool when Fran was talking about like the geo patterns and how the outer planets are all in different, cycles with each other. So I'm a little tired today, guys. I'm just like exhausted. And I don't know if it's like this first quarter moon or what, but everybody I've been talking to is like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm burnt out.
Are they pushing themselves real hard though? I know I have for the last probably 5 days now, I think 5 days straight, like just nonstop. But I thought I was the only one who did stuff like that, like just as a rule. So I don't know.
No, everybody, I'm not saying everybody I know, but it's been happening a lot. People are reaching out to me. They're like, hey, I can't do this. I'm just exhausted. Can you help me? And I'm like, hey, bro, I'm in the same boat. I'm going to go home and try to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. We have the comments popping up right on the screen. This is great. So cool.
You got to manually pop them over there, but it's still really cool.
Dude, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. Sure. Yeah. Cool. One cycle that we didn't talk about, and it didn't come up, and it's probably not going to come up, but there, in the 60s, it was the 1960s. I think it was like 64, 5, 6, somewhere around there. We had Pluto and Uranus conjunct. And that was around the time we had a lot of crazy upheaval. There was the Vietnam War. There was the big hippie movement. Everyone's like, yeah, we're just going to wear our bell bottoms and do the love thing. And it was a cool time. But now we're seeing, Pluto trining Uranus. And I feel like that rebellious nature is coming back, that, hey, there's that flow of energy that's changing everything. There's this new awakening that's happening to what the authorities are doing. We're paying a little bit more attention now in Aquarius season. Woo! It's insane. It's insane. I know. Isn't it weird how the same men who are like, we're not having enough babies, we're found to be eating them? I'm laughing about it, but this is like really insane things are coming out right now. And
yeah, because they've been doing this stuff forever. It's just now there's more of the communication. That's what I was trying to say. I see Neptune as stripping away the illusion in the false personas that everybody's wearing. It's forcing that information to the forefront, which I think I'm sure Saturn's helping with that for sure.
I
think it's great though.
I do too. I think
not the eating bait. I don't think that's great.
I laugh out of nervousness. I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. It's like, holy shit, like I was right. We've all of us conspiracy theorists, all of us people who are like, hey, something's up, something's wrong. I hate to say I told you so, but I did.
I know. I like to say it. I'm fond of it. I'm fond of it myself.
Well, what's really cool is when we had that workshop last week, you had talked about a really cool myth in astrology. You talked about Ninurta and Enki and the Tablets of Destiny. And I was, oh God, it was amazing. And I had people reach out to me and they're like, that was it. That was like the coolest. And that makes so much sense. And I loved it too. And so I was like, oh, well, what more can I learn about the mythology of Aquarius? So I grabbed my little mythic astrology book here. I like to read, you guys. I have like books on everything.
I don't think you have to apologize or make an excuse. I think
I don't know. Some people are like, just go ask your chat. And I was like, okay.
No, it's good to read books.
Yeah. Well, So it talks about, Aquarius rising when it's like in the middle of summer. So Leo, they talk about the Nile rising and all of that. And that's because Aquarius was rising. It was Leo season. And then they get into a little bit about like Gilgamesh and Osiris and all of that. But what I found interesting is that by the time we got to the Greek story, it became about a beautiful Trojan boy who attracted the attention of Zeus.
Oh no,
He
that
swooped
sounds.
down in the form of an eagle and carried this boy away to Mount Olympus to become the cupbearer of the gods. I don't know. I was like, whoa, let's normalize pedophilia.
That's what I
through
took
myth.
from that real quick.
Yeah. And to find all this stuff out in Aquarius season 2, was it Aquarius season or was it Capricorn? It all came out. Either way, it's
They're
very
connected. They're very closely
Yeah,
connected.
they are. They're very close. It's all water. I mean, look at Fomalhaut on the bottom there too. This was the rabbit hole I fell down because I was like, oh, Fomalhaut, Aquarius. I immediately think that. And no, it's actually in that fish of Pisces. So that's, well, yeah, isn't it called Pisces or what is it?
Well, there is also, okay, so the star name,
Astrinus.
not
Pisces Astrinus. Okay, I barely know good English, you guys. I'm sorry.
in the Mesopotamian system, in Babylonian, in the Mulapin, actually, there is a constellation known as the fish, which is likely down here. But this goes back to, so in Babylonian astrology, if you have one fish here, it's related to this half of a fish over here. It's also related to the fish of Pisces. So they could say something is happening near the fish or the fish is rising when blah, blah, blah. And we don't actually know which fish it is. And there's all these records. There's these letters from these different astrologers and astronomers and priests throughout Mesopotamia. They're writing to their peers to be like, hey, what does this mean? Like, which fish are we talking about? Because they don't know, because they had to code everything. So, but this star in particular was almost certainly either it's like a part of a Babylonian constellation or actually a part of the original Aquarius. The lines that we have in any of these constellations are not necessarily what they currently are either, but they're all related to the same stuff. It's just,
it's all water.
Yeah.
You can tell by all the fish all around it.
Yeah.
What had me falling down the rabbit hole was the Google search, because Google was like, oh yeah, it's in the western fish of Pisces. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, you're telling me tropical placements and that is not astronomically aligned. And then I was like, no, it's really in the western fish of Pisces. And I'm like, no, I know what the western fish of Pisces
what is
like. Fomalhaut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I guess I should have screenshot it.
I believe you. You can't.
Send it
I'm
to
telling
you,
you,
but-
Nikki, chat is lying its ass off lately.
No, this was Google. This was Google. This is just
Is it
Google.
Gemini? Google Gemini?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing is like the absolute worst. Like, you can't believe anything it says. I don't know how people even use Google at all anymore. I can't do it. Like, it's just
In the end, I was like, I use astronomy. Help. Like,
Yeah.
Come on. Like, why are you doing this to me? And I thought this would just be really easy. And it was like, no. So then I was like, wait a minute. I thought, so it's not in Aquarius?
Well, it's kind of,
Sort of. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
But like Google's telling me no. No,
the
it's
moon,
not.
I think, will get down there low enough.
Yeah,
It
the
does.
moon does. The moon is really cool. It's always going like this,
Yeah.
moving in waves, you guys. It's, most of the planets move in big waves like that. Pluto
Yeah.
is one that just goes way up,
Yeah,
way
Pluto's
below.
out of its mind. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got quite the influence.
Yeah.
Quite the influence. Pluto is still in Capricorn, friends.
That, you know what? This is off topic, but that brings me to a point. So,
Yeah.
Eris has a super does it even stay within the eclipse? I don't use it. I don't care. Like, I was just wondering. But like, I know it's got like a really crazy orbit that's completely different from everything else. So like, if it's not within the plane of the ecliptic, how do people use that outside? Like, you're only going to get it within certain constellations every so often. Like, it's a really weird.
That I don't know. I'm not sure where the orbit lies with Eris. I'm not positive, actually.
We
At
should
all.
find
I
out.
just
I don't know.
looked it
I
up.
will just find out.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see.
I know
Is it going to
Fran
come up
has-
as Eris in here? Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Fran has done quite a bit of work on Eris. And so is Michael. Yeah, he's got a whole video out there on Eris.
Let's
Her discovery and everything.
do a heliocentric. Let's see. Now, my heliocentric won't start from the center of the sun. I don't know what Fran uses. You have to pick a place on the sun. So hold on. Let me see here. Sun starts with a S. A, B, C, D. Yep, I do it every time. Don't make fun of me or make fun of me. Sun. There we go. Okay, so like I'm just picking a spot on the sun. And then we'll make it look more like the sun so we don't get confused. Hold on. Landscape. Sun. All right, now we're on the sun, you guys. It's hot. But not as hot as the corona of the sun. Okay? So if you guys don't know, the actual surface of the sun is cooler than above the surface of the sun, and inside the sun is actually cooler than the surface of the sun, which is why sunspots are basically magnetic holes, and you can look into the sun. I mean, not really. I mean, you can, but you know, you need like special. You don't want to burn your eyes. Don't go staring at the sun. But anyways, it's darker inside the sun. And they're just like, oh no, it's a big nuclear explosion and it's just stable in space. That's not how this works, you guys. If that was the case, it would be way hotter in the center of the sun, and it's not. The hottest part is up here in the corona. Okay, I'm completely derailing. What am I doing? Now I'm looking.
No, this is so cool. I didn't even know we could do this on Stellarium. So you can look at a heliocentric perspective on Stellarium. I have not explored it that well.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
Explored it well enough.
So where is so cool. Here, let me find the Earth first for you guys. Hold on. Earth. All right, there's the Earth, as you can see. Now I'm in a weird part of the sun. I'm on one side of the sun. It may shift if you're on different sides. I don't know. Let me try it real quick. So if we pick over here, is it still? Yeah, wait, no, where's the Earth? I just had the Earth. No, it's still in Leo. I guess it doesn't matter. All right.
Well, yeah, because the sun is in Aquarius. It's always in the opposite part.
Yeah, but the sun's really big. So I didn't know if like you're on one side of the sun and you're looking at the Earth from an angle, maybe it would be like somewhere else. I just don't know because I don't look at it.
I know when I started learning astronomy, I had no clue any of this was happening. I'm like, I got a whole new view on what it's like to be an Earthling. I'm like, where are we? Where's my spaceship?
Right there. Earth right on close to Regulus, it looks like.
Which is where the South Node is.
I know we're like going off on a tangent, you guys. Hold on. I'm curious now. When was it right on top of Regulus? It looks like it was that right on the conjunction? Did Fran talk about this? Am I out of my mind?
She may have mentioned it.
I would see that as very significant, right? Like right there. Like that's a really powerful placement. Right at the same time that conjunction. But heliocentrically, the conjunction happened back in December. So
yeah, that's real.
Still. Okay. So what am I doing? I'm looking for Eris, right?
Yeah. She's like near Cetus right now.
Right over here. Okay, so let's look at this for a second. I am going to go. Do I want day by day? Yeah, we're gonna do. No, that goes so slow. Hold on.
Yeah, Eris moves really, really slow.
Well, how can anybody get anything useful out of that? Is my question. Look how long it is. Like, what are we getting? What is the point of this?
She's a lot like Pluto, though. Like,
so basically, it's just a very slow. No, this is not like Pluto. Look at how it's basically just always there. That's my point. Like, how does anybody get anything value unless you're using it as basically a fixed star? I mean, we're in like 2050. It's still basically in the same spot. I don't know. I think.
Where is she moving? Yeah, I don't know anything about her orbit or where she's going.
Yeah, because the orbit
2005 is when she was discovered, and then it was because they discovered Eris. They had to look and see what a dwarf planet actually meant, what it was to actually, what does a planet actually look like? Her discovery kicked that off. So that's what kicked Pluto out as a planet and made, Eris a dwarf planet.
Nothing shows. It's so tiny. Nothing even shows up. I mean, it's big. I know it's big, but like it's not showing up though. I don't get behind discovery dates. I think that's bunk. I don't feel it. I'm not feeling it. I think it's just as significant as the random name that it gets, whoever picks it out. If I ever get to discover a planet, I'm gonna give it some wacky name.
Well,
I'm gonna just
be
to mess with
Rosina.
astrologers, just to be like, I don't know, what would I name my planet? You guys, let me know if you discovered a planet, what would you name it, or an asteroid or something big? Would you guys name it to mess with astrologers? Let me know in the comments.
Oh my god!
What are we doing though, Nikki? What's happening? Where are we at? 2026. 2020.
Yeah, we're in 2026 this time.
Yeah. Okay.
So we keep getting our dates all messed up too.
Yeah.
I think on one of our events it says 2025.
It's still? I thought we fixed it.
It's in the description.
Oh no.
But it's
Well,
okay.
Nobody reads those.
Yeah. Well,
They don't.
yeah.
They
Not
look at the
really.
pictures.
Yeah. That's what I do.
And the date is today. Yeah, exactly. The date today is the 25th. When was the new moon? We didn't look at the new. Can we go back and look at the new moon, because we didn't get a chance to do it?
Oh my
Okay.
god! So the new moon was on. Oh wait, I had it pulled up on.
Oh, I'm still here. I'm like, where's the moon? Oh, it's up there with the Earth because it's heliocentric still. All right, I gotta switch out. Let's go back to the
new moon was on February.
By the way, you can do this from Mars. You can do it from all the planets.
17th, right?
If you guys care.
It's the new moon.
Anybody cares?
I care. I didn't even know we could do that.
Yeah.
I'm over here like
What
today years old.
We're on Earth. We gotta go to Earth. Okay, Earth. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E. Yep, that's the one. I'm looking for E. Okay, hold on, you guys. I got this. Maybe. Come on. Why are they not? Are they in numbers? Are we starting with numbers? What's happening? A, B, C, D, E. Earth. Observer. Just regular Earth. Okay.
All right,
Let's
sweet.
grab this one. All right. Here, we'll make it not look like the Earth is on fire. Let's pick just regular Earth. Let's grab the ocean. Let's do the ocean today. That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, so we're back to Earth, and we're looking at the moon, which is somewhere.
Oh, it's in well, what's the date? What do we got going on?
I don't know what date we're in.
Because it's in
13.
Taurus right now.
Here's the
but the 17th was when we had the new moon. Was
okay.
the new moon eclipse.
Yeah, we're backdating.
Yeah.
17. Right there about. That looks like the tail end of Capricorn conjunct with Mars to me. Is that right? That looks right. Okay.
Yes.
So what do we got then? Let's do it.
Tail end of. Do it. Do what? I love it. Well, so it was the first degrees of Aquarius when we had our new moon. So I don't know. I felt like the eclipse was actually pretty okay. I mean, it was right sort of near my natal moon, and exactly on it. But I felt really tired, and that was it. I was like, I'm tired. I'm crabby. I might be coming down with something, and that was pretty much it. I don't look at eclipse season like this is the time where everything's going to happen to me, because sometimes
it's too much work.
Well, sometimes these things like don't kick anything off. Sometimes it's just like a background energy for people, and we hype a lot of astrologers will hype up eclipse season, but
oh, what happened to Nikki? Is it me? Hold on, I don't know. Can you guys see me? I see myself. Wait, there she is. Hold on, where'd she go? Nikki. There she is.
It's a little bit wonky.
Okay, there you are. You're back.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what it is, but I had to reset everything. It's got to be Mercury.
Oh. Oh, even.
I think it's starting soon though, isn't it?
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
But all I know is I was very careful tracking all of the technical difficulties that took place outside of Mercury in retrograde.
And it was a lot, actually.
Yes. It was basically every single time we were ever on the internet. So I'm starting to think that it's not actually Mercury retrograde and just a natural part of technology.
Yeah, it is. It really
Okay.
is, you guys. I just want to blame somebody. There's, when I first started doing astrology, I would blame the moon for everything. It was going wrong. I'm like, this is why I feel this way. And
I mean, it might have been. The
not
moon
true.
does do day-to-day stuff. Like, it definitely does. Going back to the eclipse thing, do you think that where the eclipse is visible, if it makes a bigger impact on people's lives, or do you think it's more something in relation to their, like, an individual's natal chart?
I think it's more to an individual's natal chart, to be honest with you. I think it has to hit a planet, it has to hit an angle. I think it really has to, hit certain things for it to mean something. To just have, an eclipse in a void space. I guess if it's in like opposition of a inner planet, that will definitely affect you. Affect the way you feel or magnetize things. If it's Venus or Mars. I know with Mars moving into Aquarius right now, it won't be long before it hits the degree of the eclipse degree. So I'm kind of wondering, when Mars reaches that degree, if we're going to see some action. Kind of thinking a little bit ahead. We just, in the United States, we just had our State of the Union address, and I didn't watch it. I had the news on, and I guess it was the longest ever in history. And I'm like, wow.
I missed that. I'm glad.
Well, yeah, I missed it too.
Oh, you're talking, this was a while ago, wasn't it?
No, this just happened like yesterday. So it was a bunch of like leaders just patting each other's on the back and like, we're the greatest. And we just did
State of the Union?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
swear to God, that's what it said.
I believe you.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
I thought it was in January, but I don't know. I've been busy, guys. I've been doing a lot. I'm doing the Mesopotamian New Year prep. Okay, so there's a lot. Plus, we got the ISAA has its annual board meeting coming up, so there's just a lot going on. We I don't know, are we allowed to announce it? I don't know if we've made an official announcement yet, but we did elect 2 more board members to the ISAA's board of directors. So congratulations to Michael Hartigan of One Sky Astrology and to Gary O'Toole of Timeline Astrology. So yay.
Congratulations. Thank you, guys.
Yes, we're so excited to have them on board. Yes. Trish, your mom. Not your mom, but your mom. That is an excellent name for an asteroid. I tell your mom jokes all the time. And I can't, my only friend here in Russia is Alice, and I'm her mom. So like whenever she says something and I say your mom, it doesn't hit as good, it's just doesn't work as well. And nobody else in Russia gets the your mom jokes. They don't get it at all. So kind of sucks.
Your mom. I love that.
Who else? Chelsea said, or who said, I saw some other name in here. Did you take it out? Somebody took it out. I don't know. It was like
technology. I don't think you can.
Oh, Chelsea said big sexy. Okay, I see
big
it in there.
Sexy. Hell yeah, big sexy.
Okay, so let's run with this. I would probably give mine a rated R name just to be a jerk about it, but I'd call it like the champagne room. Okay. And what would astrologers, they would all start jumping over each other, trying to get create all the descriptions. Well, the champagne room, that's where, there's no hanky-panky in the champagne room, right? So it would all be about not doing it, maybe some celibacy, maybe just looking but not touching, maybe spending a lot of money, being a simp and just forking out cash, making it rain at the strip club. That's what they would associate it with. So that's why I don't remember the just randomly chosen names of some of these planetary bodies. I think that the only way to know for sure what it does is to actually track it and to see, and you got to track it with more than one person because charts vary from person to person. Even twins have very, they can vary quite a lot, even though they're only 5-10 minutes apart sometimes. So I just don't think that's a good way to do astrology. That's my personal opinion on it. So
Well, I think with the Eris, it was when they first discovered Eris, they named it Xena after the warrior princess.
that'd have been a cool one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. But then after they discovered her and all of her characteristics, traits, and everything, it changed the way we looked at all of the other planets. And it actually caused such chaos and disruption among like all of the astronomers that they renamed her Eris after the goddess of discord, because there was a huge upheaval and they had big giant meetings, get-togethers, like the whole astronomy crew was like, we got to rethink shit. So it kicked something off, and that's why that's why, from my understanding. I don't understand a lot, but I do get that. So I was like, okay. I have Eris conjunct my sun, and I've read some of the things about Eris, and I feel like, yeah, I'm pretty connected to that. But we've talked about it too, with my Mars and Mercury being conjunct, and Aries is it being a factor to some of those things. But I do find it interesting, though, that every wedding I've been to has, well, not every wedding, but the last 2 or 3 at least have just been insane. Like the last one I went to, I ended up breaking up with my spouse of 20-something years. The one before that, I walked into a meth-fueled like lady brawl. It was really cool.
were you in it?
No, I wasn't in it. I got there like not in time to be in it.
Oh, bummer.
I know. I was kind of happy I wasn't in it. These girls were crazy. They're all my age too, just body slamming each other on tables, flipping them. It was so cool. Not my wedding, so didn't really care. But yeah, me and the wedding. And then I've gotten the wedding before that. The last 2 weddings before that, I was uninvited to. So ex-coworkers, I guess. I don't know. Be really uncomfortable if you showed up. So please don't.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can relate to the whole Eris myth and, not being invited to the party. I don't know. I like to tell people the truth. I'm not into sugarcoating anything, and people hate it. They don't like it. They don't like when they have to find shit out. And I don't know, they tend to like blame me for it. I'm like, well, I was just helping you.
I'm telling you, I think that's Mars in Aries. I don't think
I think Eris could very well be, absolutely, because I can relate to that.
We've tested out Black Moon Lilith, regular Lilith, Chiron, Eris. Now we tested Eris.
Well, Eris was just discovered in 2005. Like that's not long ago at all. 2005 is like not even a eye blink away. I don't think we've had enough time to actually sit and study and watch, But
if it's actually stationary, though, which it essentially is because of where it's at, you're not going to get any movement of it. I mean, I don't know. It would be hard to track anyways, I think.
She's not one I pay super close attention to. I pay attention to like our classical planets. I feel like we can get a lot out of that, unless there is like a dwarf planet or something that's already conjunct said planet, or an angle, or even the lunar nodes. Then I take a look at it a little bit more, especially if it means something to my client. I'm like, okay, you're connected to this. Like, I can use my amazing magical powers to connect to this and see where it is you're coming from. Chiron is actually pretty I could totally relate to all of the relation, because my Chiron is connected to Venus, and I mean it hasn't been straight up relationship wounds. I've been hurt by but that's everybody. Everybody's been hurt in their relationships and in their professional life. And, I've tried to come out as a educator for a really long time. When I was doing hair, I wanted to educate, and I just kept getting slapped down. I really feel like Chiron is a little bit more connected to that educator role than the suffering, suffering than the suffering role, because I mean, every single human being on this planet has something that traumatized them, and it's different for everybody. Like for some people, just getting yelled at by their mom and dad, might have been traumatizing to them.
Yeah, nobody gets to adulthood without serious trauma. And like you just said, that looks different for everyone, but
and I feel like if we're going to see trauma in the chart, though, wouldn't we see, hard angles to the moon or to the moon's nodes? I figured we would see something more or less along that line.
But rare considering how many people have trauma. Like and you're
not born with it. You're not necessarily born with it. These are energies that have potential to unfold. It's not like your chart is something that's fated.
Right.
But we've talked about that too, with fate and how you can definitely feel as if you don't have any control over your own life. And then there's times you can feel as if it doesn't matter what decision you make, it's going to be the right one. There's fate is just so incredibly weird. The concept of it and having it connected to astrology. I mean, I have a hard time with that. I have hard times with fate and astrology and saying this is it.
I went back and I watched the conference because I had to reorganize the members page for the ISAA stuff, and I went back and I caught that portion that Gary was talking about.
Yeah, that was so interesting. I got to go back and
I have to disagree with him. I used to be a complete, well, that's not true. It's not complete disagreement. I think both things can be true at once. I think that the source, the cosmos, the universe, whatever you want to call it, the absolute knows everything that's already going to play out ahead of time. You have to. If time is not real, which I don't think it is, and if let's say there's a fourth or fifth dimension where it's basically like you can see all things happening, all time is like static, every possibility is existing at once, but it's like in like one static spot. And the only difference between that and what we're doing is our consciousness is like moving through this construct of time, and it looks to us like it's unfolding, but really it's kind of not. So like something is aware of this. It has to be, because there's this it just has to be. At the same time, it becomes unknowing as it's like looking through us or going through consciousness. So in that respect, sure, like everything is fated. Somebody already knows what's going to happen. But at the same time, I think that we completely we jump timelines, we jump realities all the time, which is why the Monopoly man doesn't have a monocle anymore.
That's
why
bullshit.
I know.
I really think that's bullshit. He had him.
I know he did. He for sure did. There's residual evidence of it. Listen, I gotta go make some water, but before I do, I have to address something extremely serious. Okay, so Yo Mama is so fat she plays pool with the planets. That is a specific type of joke. Okay, the Yo Mama jokes.
Stop.
Your mom is like it developed therefrom. Okay. And it was like, basically, if you didn't have any more comebacks, you would just say like your mom or like your mom. And so, like, oh, you suck at playing pool with anything, planets or billiards or whatever. Be like, your mom sucks at playing pool. It's just, and then it just like, went back to, where did Nikki go? Just went back to your mom. Okay, once Nikki comes back, I'll go make some water. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging while this is out here. So hopefully that clears that up. I don't have the best Yo Mama jokes. That was mostly, I don't have a memory for it. Unfortunately, that is not a skill that I possessed. So let's see what else we got going on in here. Oh wait, I have to, when she comes back, I gotta be watching you guys. Stand by. Because it won't warn me. There's no sound that comes up or anything. We think that we are gonna get Elif. I don't know how to pronounce it, you guys. She is, I think she comes on here sometimes. You'll see her in the chat as Egyptian Astro or something to that effect. We're going to get her to also do an upcoming, I think she's going to do heliacal rising or heliacal phases. I guess it did make a sound. Oh, that's good. So that's going to be really cool. We're also trying to get Fran Arnett scheduled. But you guys, I was going to ask if there's an interest. I teach in a chakras in astrology course, but I was thinking we could probably do a workshop on that too if anybody's interested. I ask if anybody's interested because it's not exactly like a big seller. Like people don't seem super interested. So I don't know if that is something that people would care about. I think it's really cool. That's how, so the Sumerians and Mesopotamians, they don't have like fixed house meanings. So that's what I use to get, if I want to like dig deeper and get house meanings. I also use it to do medical astrology, and it is phenomenal.
When are you thinking about doing that?
Just whenever there's a month that people don't schedule. I'm waiting to see when Fran and Elif schedule their stuff, and then I'll just fill it in. That'll give us another
nice.
I'm running out of like areas of expertise though, you guys. So like,
well, we should definitely take July off. I mean, that's like your July or August, just because that's like when it's warm in Russia. It's when it's warm in Wisconsin. And
I guess if you want, but I mean,
I guess it doesn't matter.
It's one Saturday. I don't know,
Yeah, I can go swimming. I'm gonna go swimming this year.
I said that last year though. I'll be right back, Nikki. I gotta get water.
But last year we had a lot of not California fires. We had a lot of the Canadian fires coming down. So it was constantly smoked out. It was terrible. You'd get outside and that's all you could smell was smoke. It was gray skies. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It was the entire summer too, you guys. I'm sorry, Canada. I don't mean to blame you, but I hope you can really keep the fires under control this year. Let's see. What do we got going on? What else do we have?
We still haven't done the new moon. Did we? We talked a little bit about eclipses and that was it.
Well, yeah, because that was the new moon. I didn't want to do that.
What'd you do?
Oh, no, I got it. I clicked out of our chat. I was like trying to read everybody's stuff. So it's
cool that it shows up over here. Because then you don't technically have to look at it on the other one, but I guess I've still been doing that. Let me take a look at it, because I didn't. I have no idea what's going on, so I won't bore you with all of the details of that. But what was it? Somebody asked like, "Oh, when is Venus in August? Where's Venus going to be?" I'm like, I don't know where Venus is at today.
In August? Oh my gosh, I know. I thought she was going to be like conjunct the North Node during our event or South Node. Oh my God. Don't even listen to me right now. I'm all over I looked at that chart and I was like, I don't remember it right. So I don't trust my memory right now.
I don't know what's going on. I
haven't been sleeping, you guys. I just have not been sleeping. I thought for sure last night. I was like, okay, this will be the third night where I'm trying to sleep. And I sleep wide awake. And then I had a dream before I woke up because I fell asleep for like maybe an hour before I had to wake up. And it was one of those weird symbolic dreams, you guys. So I'm standing in my closet and there's my belt. I only have one and it's white. And somebody cut it right below the buckle. Like they left me a few inches, they cut it clean. And I was like, who the fuck would do this?
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. And it was like my actual belt. And then I look over to the side and the other half of it's just like dangling, hanging there, like somehow, like in the air. And I grab it and I'm like, well, what the fuck do I do now? And then I woke up.
I had a dream that I was at a rodeo and Chelsea was there.
Nice.
And she was like, I had some smetana, which is Russian sour cream. It does not taste like American sour cream. It's closer to yogurt. It's friggin' delicious. But anyways, she's like, can we turn this into ranch dressing? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, is that good? Will that be good? She's like, yeah, let's do it. But then I didn't know like how to do it. Like I don't know how to make ranch dressing, but they don't have ranch dressing here in Russia. So it was like,
I miss ranch dressing. Oh my God.
So Chelsea, you have to let me know if you even like ranch dressing. I don't know. It's good sometimes to dip pizza in. I think that's probably good. Hey, Chrissy's Country Kitchen over there. Haven't talked to you in forever. It seems like. So hope you're doing well. I'm sure you're following all of the potential disclosure stuff. That's definitely a psyop to avoid people caring about the coming war with Iran. That's definitely happening.
Oh no, I forgot about that.
That's why they're doing it. They don't want you looking at that. They're like, hey, look, you guys, aliens.
I thought it was the death cult thing. They're like, we'll pull out all the stops. So we'll even reinvestigate the Kurt Cobain, case. We're going to do everything to make you guys not look at us eating babies. Not look at us eating. You know what really freaks me out? I've been thinking about it. And you remember back in the day, there were videos out about Angelina Jolie, and she was talking about joining that cult. She had been talking about it. And it was part of her little thing about jumping in the pool, making out with her brother.
Well, she did make out with her brother.
Yeah. Well, that was part of it. She was talking about it. And there's actual video footage from back in the 90s of her talking about it. And then I was thinking about it. And I'm like, isn't it weird? She's working with babies and orphanages and all of this shit. Erica Kirk and kind of a few other people we know of that are a little on the sus side. I am not saying she's not a humanitarian. Maybe she was like, I broke away from this cult and I saved the babies. I don't eat them anymore. I don't know, but I'm super sus, and it's ruined entertainment for me, you guys. And the entertainment industry has been absolutely ruined. I cannot support it. Jerry Seinfeld.
Him too?
He's in there. Yeah, he's in there. He's all about it.
I'm not surprised.
I can't. Well, I wasn't. I mean, sometimes I watch Seinfeld and I laugh. I mean, Kramer kind of ruined it with his little racist rant a few years ago. But sometimes I would watch it and I would laugh. I just saw the episode where Jerry was dating the chick, the native girl, and then Kramer comes up and he's like, Jerry, oh! Sorry, you don't remember that episode?
I didn't watch. We only had a couple channels, and NBC didn't work. NBC and CBS, we didn't have those. We only had Fox and ABC and PBS. So I guess 3 channels.
My mom didn't let us watch Seinfeld because she didn't like Elaine, and she didn't like Elaine's hair.
I liked Elaine's hair. She was smoking hot. I was into her. Yeah. I didn't watch the show. I just thought she was hot.
I danced like her. Yeah. It's really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do the thumb thing, but I mean, it's all right. Anyway, entertainment industry is ruined for me forever. The Simpsons, forget it.
Them too. I haven't watched them in years and years.
Yeah. He was giving away all the secrets.
Oh.
You can look up Simpsons.
Well, I know they supposedly prophesize everything. Is that because everything's planned out in advance?
Yep. Everything's planned out in advance.
They
even had the episode where Trump was president back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So they already knew what they were doing. They've been knowing. I suspect they're using the real sky when they visit their little.
I'm sure they are. Okay, so there's a girl. I can't think of her name. It's Ashley something. She has this channel called Spooky Scary Story Time. Oh, it's my hot water. Don't let me forget your back. Hold on.
Okay, Spooky Scary Story Time, which I don't know. That seems like just being wide awake in reality right now. It's been super scary and spooky. I never really thought. I always told my friends that there was something weird and I didn't like it with all of it, Hollywood, Christianity. Long time ago, I wanted to be a model, and I went and I tried out for child modeling, and I ended up getting really sick right before I went for my interview, and they really liked me, but the whole thing made me absolutely fucking ill. I was almost falling over. It was really sad. Because I really wanted this. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I can start out modeling and then I can, do acting and all this other shit. But I got so incredibly sick. And then the lady really pissed me off because she told me she thought I was too fat and that that my weight was going to be an issue. And I was like, I weigh fucking 98 pounds.
Who told you this?
13 years old. I went to what do you call it? I only went to a few of these. It was like a modeling thing for like child modeling.
God, yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. It made me sick. Like, it made me actually physically ill. Like, I all of a sudden, like, my whole body was like, you don't want to go to do this, but I like wanted it so bad. And I was there with other kids that had like portfolios, and I was just trying to get into like catalogs because my neighbor friend did. And I was like, ooh, I want to do that. But they were assholes. They were really not cool.
Well,
and, like, it stuck with me a little bit. Oh,
yeah,
totally. Because I'm so naive, you guys. They would have got me on the island. I would have been like, yeah, let's go. And
I was thinking about that. I would have got
me on the table.
I would have got sucked into. Yeah. Just because when you're like young like that, like you don't know. And
in the 90s, everybody. Oh, so sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say.
No, go. You go.
Oh, I was gonna say it was the 90s, and like at that time, it was the early 90s, and for me, every kid thought it would be cool to live in California, to be the California kid, and always live where it's sunny and be by the ocean, and like the only way you could do that is if you were rich, and like so I was like every other poor kid that was like, I got to try to get rich somehow, so I don't have to live like this. But I don't know. As I got older, you guys, I don't know. I'm pretty happy. Not like the less shit I have, the happier I am. Like,
yeah,
totally. Yeah. Sorry, I went off on a rant.
Well, this kind of goes back. Trish said our overlords totally use real sky astrology. The illusion of tropical is just for us peasants. Agreed. There's no way they don't know. Oh, Nikki left again. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this story while I wait for her to come back. So, this girl, her channel is called, well, she calls it Spooky Scary Story Time. It's on YouTube, but I think she's on TikTok because she talks really fast, which is kind of the format on TikTok. You have to be like super fast, and it carries over to her YouTube. But it's Ashley something. But if you search it, she tells these stories, and these people send her in these stories. Well, she had this one compilation that I listened to the other day, and it was all about these people who were trying to get into specifically the hip hop industry. And they started behaving really weird, and they were doing this mentorship, but apparently it's like these rituals. And some of them, it sounds like maybe guided meditations, although the girl who sat through one of them, I'm sure they do way different stuff than the ones that she was privy to. But this is pervasive in, I don't think it's just for sure the music industry. I mean, if you guys have ever watched a concert over the last 20 years, they're all like just public rituals. But I would imagine that actors and, you know, other celebrities and stuff, they all got to do that too. Like, it's not just about, it's not just about like a humiliation ritual. It's also kind of manipulation, like seeing how far you can push someone and like what they're willing to do. And they just keep pushing them and pushing them. That's why Cat Williams was talking about all these people who have essentially, what did he say? Was it him that said that? Oh no, it was Terrence, what's his name? You guys know the one who said 2 + 2 is 5 or something along those lines. I never get mad at him. You guys know Terrence Howard? Is that it? Maybe that's it. But anyways, he said like they give up their man card, and he's basically talking about them participating in, you know, non-heterosexual sex, basically. So whatever that looks like for them. But these are, and unfortunately, a lot of this stuff is built on various occult rituals, which, you know, whatever, I guess. But a lot of those people, they are channeling, they're intentionally trying to channel demons and Satan, whatever that looks like for them. Because again, it doesn't really matter what name you give it. There's a something. And even if all they're doing is tapping into their own, that part of themselves, you know, the Satan within, if you want to look at it that way, it's definitely happening. So, but they're blowing it for all the other people. Okay. They're blowing it for everybody else who just wants to practice some other form of religion or spirituality that's not, you know, Judeo-Christian, whatever. Because they're making everybody look bad. Okay. Not everybody eats babies. If you do astrology, it doesn't mean you eat babies, you know. So I think Nikki's trying to connect. I don't know what's happening. I think she probably reset her router. Let me take a look at this month, you guys. I've been trying for the last hour to look at what's going on this month. Let's see, somewhere back here in Aquarius. Okay, so all of this Aquarius energy, I don't know if you need me to rehash all of the Enki stuff. So I'll just tell you a little bit real quick, because clearly this is new moon Enki energy. Now this happens every year. This in itself is not the biggest deal, but we do have Venus and Mercury and Mars all in the vicinity of Enki or Aquarius. So Enki, one of the Anuna gods, or Anunnaki, if you prefer, who is not an alien. Okay, the Anuna gods were not aliens. They were personifications of natural forces. And I can prove this because the name Enki in particular, actually all of their names, but Enki means Lord of the Earth. And his consort was the actual Earth. So he's the fresh water and she's the Earth. And we can see this as a metaphor for wherever you see fresh water touching the Earth, that's where life is springing forth. Not so much where the ocean is touching the Earth. I mean, in some places, sure, but if you look, there's a lot of coastlines that are just sand and salt water. It doesn't really do the same thing. You got to have at least some fresh water nearby, and you got to have the water and whatnot. So the water, the Abzu, as the god of the fresh water, the word for water, semen, seed, offspring is all the same word in Sumerian. It's A. And this is there. So this is akin to the Sanskrit Om. Okay. The word Ah. This is like the power word. Ah. Okay. And water was the creative element. So here in this watery part of the sky, all the way from at least the goatfish to over to Aries, all of this is related to creativity. Is Nikki back? And I haven't seen her yet. No, she's not back yet. This is not just creation in the physical manifestation sense, but also in the magical sense. Enki was a god of magic. It's also the arts, it's civilization, it is science, technology, all of the things that kind of differentiate us from just normal plants and animals that are kind of just doing their thing here on the earth. So this area, did I lose it? Hold on. This month in particular is kind of blowing all of this up, okay? With Venus here, now this was Inanna. This is a much softer placement for her. Venus and, or Inanna, Venus, and Enki have a very good relationship. She did at one point, she got him drunk and stole the tablets of destiny from him. That was a thing that she also did. I think he gets it back from her. There's multiple stories, but otherwise they have a pretty good relationship, you know, but she can be a little feisty depending on where she's at, but she calls him father at one point. It's when she goes to the underworld, it's Enki. She's down there for 3 days. She descends into the underworld and she's resurrected by the water of life that Enki gives. And it's sprinkled on her and it brings her back to life. So this is a very vibrant, very, what's the word we would look here? Nikki says, I'm trying to hop on my laptop. Nothing is working. I'll let her write it off as Mercury in retrograde, you guys. I'll let her do it. This whole season is a great time for creation. Now in Mesopotamia, so I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, springtime. So Europeans, right? In most of North America, we're like, oh, springtime, we're getting ready to have the fertile season and summer, and it's going to be growth and bounty and wonderful. Well, this was the springtime. We're actually getting into the harvest in Mesopotamia. Namely the barley harvest. That was the big one, which is going to be celebrated on right around, well, it's going to be the new moon closest to the spring equinox. And after that, like after the springtime, then it's going to start getting hot and everything's going to die. And that's going to be the season of death. So this is more their harvest. This is like when everything's, really kicking in. And this festival is also associated, well, they have the marriage of Dumuzid and Inanna. Dumuzid is represented in the constellation of Aries, and Inanna is represented in the planet of Venus. And even though technically Dumuzid is sacrificed and he reincarnates every winter. And after he is reborn, he marries Inanna. They consummate their union. There is a lot of plowing of the fields, figuratively and literally. And this is what brings life to all of the crops and the vegetation and the earth and everything. And this is the bounty that is being, like everybody's getting it in the springtime. So they do celebrate this marriage, though, even though technically they've already married and consummated early in the, like around midwinter. It is officially celebrated in the springtime on the this new moon nearest the spring equinox. Now, this was, we don't know quite as well in the Sumerian period if it was enacted in the de facto sense. It probably was, but we don't know for sure. But in the Babylonian rituals, this festival, the king would actually have intercourse with a stand-in every year for Inanna. And this was symbolic of him. So basically the king is the representative of Dumuzid. He is like a facet of Dumuzid. And by him having intercourse with one of the priestesses who's being, she's sustained for Inanna, they're recreating this, this sacred rite, which is still practiced by many pagan traditions to this day, which good on you guys. Congratulations. But this is symbolically and literally. Some people do it literally, some people it's symbolic. But anyways, this is, it speaks to early on, way back in the Mesopotamian period, like going all the way, at least as far back as the Sumerians, it was the divine feminine who granted the king the power to rule to a very great extent, to basically give life to the land. So you'll hear it in different myths and hymns, like it's Enlil who decrees the fates and who gives the right of kingship, but he also has to, do it with Inanna every year because she's really the one who makes him the king. Like, you're not the king unless you bedded Inanna. So, but that again just goes back to they looked at women much differently back then. Nikki, it's good to see you. How you doing?
Oh my God. I don't know what that was. It just keeps like kicking me off and my internet looks like it's working good. So
yeah,
it said I had firewalls up and I'm like, you're the wall. Imaginary.
Your mom has firewalls
your
up.
Mom. Yeah, right.
That's right.
It's confusing. And I'm like the worst tech person ever, you guys. Like,
I said, well, you were gone. I'm like, we'll let Nikki blame Mercury retrograde for this one.
This is insane. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm almost done. I promise.
No. Go ahead. Because I was hoping you would talk about this with Aquarius. Because I'm just sad I missed it.
I've been struggling to like keep my my head straight today. So with everything here in Aquarius and Venus, now I just shared some lovely stories about Venus. This increases the intensity of this fertile production, okay? So whatever you're creating are these works of art, are this technological innovation, are you communicating, are you teaching, are you writing, are you, in some cases, this can be more intense dreams. The fish of Pisces, especially this fish of Pisces, but also the fish side of Capricorn, those bring really intense dreams to people anyways. Mars in the fish side of Pisces increases clairsentience, which is, did we lose her again? No, there she is. What happened? Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. The fish side, wait, what was I saying? Oh, clairsentience. Yeah. So, and this will be if you have Mars in this fish of Pisces, but also if you have Mars anywhere in Pisces. I said this fish of Pisces, this fish of Capricorn. If you have it anywhere in Pisces, this is the case too. You have increased clairsentience, which means that you can't touch things, you can't go places without feeling all of the stuff that other people don't feel, and you feel in a very visceral way. Okay, in a way that can be very, you get sick from it. Like it's not a joke. Okay, so that's been going on, but it's moving in here to Aquarius now. Mars is going to play kind of a backseat role to some of Aquarius in here in Enki, just based on the mythology. He's just not, it's just not his thing, right? He is associated with fire. So he mellows out quite a bit when he goes into Aquarius. Hopefully this is going to help us avoid some like war and devastation and whatnot. I don't know for sure. I mean, it's possible, it's in there. But otherwise, this month, what else we got? Mercury moving into Pisces. Mercury too here in Pisces. Mercury is very cognitive, but when you put it in here, it becomes very clairvoyant. Okay, so a lot of weird dreams, a lot of stuff going on. I don't know. It's not a bad thing, it's just there. So was there anything else that I wanted to? I think that's pretty much it. I think we're going to leave it at that. Hopefully you guys are going to take advantage of this. I know I have been inadvertently. That was not my intention, but man, I've been on fire for the last week for sure. So
I've been more social than ever.
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying this Aquarius. This is probably the first Aquarius season I've enjoyed in a really long time.
Well, that's good.
Wow. No, Aquarius is like my 7th house. So usually every year around this time, it's horrible. And I'm dealing with a whole bunch of bullshit that I just can't even. It's usually, I call it audacity season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've had a little bit of that, but it's not so bad. No, it's not so bad. Been super social, been making a lot of friends and making a lot of connections. I'm working on we've both been working on social media accounts and that type of stuff and networking, and it's been pretty interesting. I'm like, oh wow, Aquarius connected to communication. I was like, yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. I like the Enki association you have, and I always associated Enki with Mercury. Or even
he's got a Mercury association though.
Yeah, you've said that. But even for some reason, Uranus, I've attached Enki to Uranus because I think of Uranus as a higher mind, the higher octave of Mercury. But no, it totally makes a lot more sense having Neptune connected to that because of the visionary, the kind of psychic stuff. That makes a lot more sense to me. When you brought it up this last workshop, you explained something and I was like, and it literally clicked. Because you've told me this 100 times, at least more than that.
That's why I got to hear the story over and over and over again.
Yeah.
There's a lot in there and you get stuff at different times. I'm telling you, I read these myths. I've read them a million times. And I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot about that. And
I love those myths. Can you tell the one about Ninurta and Enki with the Destiny tablets?
Yeah, I'll tell you real quick. Hold on one second.
I think everybody else would love to hear it. I love that story.
You're making it sound super cool, and I'm going to blow it now. I'm going to make it not going to be.
Oh, whatever. But here's the thing. Something about Enki is just he's a silly goose because there was another story I had read a little bit about, only because you had mentioned it. But he got drunk one day and gave Inanna just
I talked about that while you were gone.
Oh my God, I missed it. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, they all got drunk, you guys. They were
they were awesome. just like people.
Yeah.
They acted just like people.
Yeah.
Well, because those are powers. Those are just reflections of little what do you call it in psychology? Those are little
aspects of ourselves.
Well, yeah, but there was a word for it. I was thinking more characteristics or something else, but
yeah,
never mind. Mercury's in Pisces, you guys, and I'm just feeling silly. I can't get my brain put together, and I think that might be why.
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't know Mercury had been crawling in. I assumed it was already in retrograde, considering all the tech snafus and the things I've been dealing with. I'm like, oh, it's got to already be moving backwards into Aquarius. So,
well,
I know that look on your face because you're like, that's not it. It's just not it. I know.
I just don't think it's it.
But I'm a victim over here. I can't help it. I just can't help it.
Well, how much of and I will tell you the story, or I'll tell everybody the story here. How much of that is self-fulfilling? If you go through life being like, oh, is this Mercury retrograde sucks, bad things happen. What are the odds that bad things will start to tech stuff are going to happen to you? But if you conversely go through life and say no, that doesn't that's not a thing and it's not going to get me. Those people don't have the same issues, So I don't know how much of it is what
I've been trying to
creating. Oh, there she goes. Okay, she's gone. All right. Oh wait, no, she's back. I hear her.
off.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm like, knock it off. Like, I didn't wish for this to happen.
I'm glad I'm not having any issues over here. So
I'm looking at my everything. I'm looking at all the lights. They're all on. They're all working. I had to reboot my modem.
Didn't you just get a new modem?
Yeah, I just got all new stuff. I got my internet upgraded. I was like,
is there a solar storm? Is there something going on maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know
either.
All right, let me tell the story before we forget about it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not probably as exciting as Nikki just built it up to be.
It is, though. It's cool. I don't know. I think it's cool. You get a different view of Saturn.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, so you guys, if you don't know, for thousands and thousands of years, Saturn was awesome. Okay, he was this god known as Ninurta, and his name translates as Lord of Barley, and this speaks to him being an early agricultural god, way back when. He was a god of agriculture, sure, but also healing, wisdom, law, writing. So before Mercury had its basically like its Enki or Abzu Mercurian type of traits, Mercury was also believed to be Ninurta. So Ninurta had two planets. He had Saturn and he had Mercury. But Enki is clearly associated. There's overlapping meanings. It doesn't matter. All right. So anyways, he's awesome. Okay. And he knows he's awesome. So there's this giant Anzu bird demon. It's like got a bird body and it's got a lion's face, and they have images like stone carvings of it. It's super creepy. Okay. It's like something that like you would see today in a movie. It's horrific. So anyways, this bird comes and steals the tablet of destinies, which is a kind of a precursor to the whole concept of, you know, the Judeo-Christian book of life or whatever. It's not really a book of life, but like whoever has the tablet of destinies can decree the fate for anybody, like whether it's a god or a person or whatever. So it's a pretty big deal that this demon has it. So Enki asked Ninurta, hey, can you, you know, like you're a hero, you're awesome at everything. Can you go get this tablet of destinies? Of course, it's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So he goes and he kills this thing. He rips it apart and whatnot. And he gets the tablet of destinies and he gives it back. Well, after like a little while, like a part 2 of the story, Ninurta, Saturn, okay, is like, you know what? I'm pretty awesome. I think I should have the tablet of destinies. Like, why can't I have that thing? I just had it. Like, why did I give it back? You know? So it's like, all right, I'm going to steal this thing. Well, as you guys have just learned, if you didn't already know, Enki is also the god of magic and psychic ability. And in multiple stories, he psychically senses that some danger is afoot. Okay. And he senses, he sees, he's clairvoyant. He sees that Ninurta has hatched this plan to steal the tablet of destinies. So what he does is he fashions a great turtle out of mud, and the turtle digs this giant pit into the earth. Okay. It grabs, so like Ninurta, it sees Ninurta, it grabs him by the heel, which is the precursor to the Achilles story with Achilles' heel. If you guys haven't heard that story, and he's getting dipped into the river Styx, and except for, you know, this little part of his tendon on the back of his heel. And that's where he was vulnerable. So this is where that story comes from, of course. It always comes from some Mesopotamian story. So he grabs Ninurta and he pulls him into the pit. Now, what happens down there, we don't know because the text is too badly damaged and we can't see. But we do know a little bit later, Enki is standing somewhere in the heights or wherever he's at, and he's telling Ninurta, you know, like basically, you screwed up, you know, like you didn't temper your ego and your courage and all of this with wisdom. And so like, this is the situation you're in, which is basically, he just didn't get the tablet of destinies. Like not really that much happened to him. So, Ninurta has this, or Saturn has a very interesting relationship with Enki for this reason. They kind of, you know, it's a love-hate relationship a little bit. So I think that was the main part of the story, but it does speak very much to Saturn in Mesopotamia. Saturn did not have any of that nasty stuff. I mean, yes, technically they called it the destroyer in like some Babylonian text, but I mean, he was an unmatched warrior and hero. So yeah, he's a destroyer. He's a destroyer of enemies. He's a destroyer of, like, you know, demons and monsters and all kinds of stuff. It wasn't like he's going to come, like Saturn's going to come through and ruin your life. It wasn't like that. So, yeah,
which is kind of like how he's been painted in the last few decades. Saturn is just the, you know, dark, malefic.
I think it goes. I think it's been the last couple thousand years.
Forever. Yeah, it's been that long. Yeah.
Well, maybe not in the Greek. I don't think the Greeks were that bad, because Saturn had, in like Greco-Roman period, Saturn had really good traits too. Saturn, you guys, if you don't know, is the basis for Santa Claus. Saturn was in the Roman period. His festival was I want to say I want to say it's like December 16th, but don't quote me on that, you guys. I'm so bad with numbers, but it's right around Christmas. All right. So what did they do on Saturnalia? Okay. This is, if you guys haven't heard about, I know I'm speaking to the wrong audience. You guys already know all this stuff, but I'll tell you anyways. So Saturnalia was like the coolest festival in Rome. Like, it was a party. The servants would all, they would get served, like the masters would dress down and they would serve the servants. They'd like get on their feet or on their knees and, like, you know, feed them food and wash their feet and do all this kind of stuff. They'd have drunken merrymaking, lot of orgies too. Okay, there was definitely some orgies involved. But they would go out and get drunk and sing songs. They'd go from house to house. They'd bring presents. They would they do all of the normal Christmas merrymaking. All right, right around there. So the Romans became the Roman Catholic Church. You know, they co-opted Christianity. And that was their big holiday, which is why they moved like Jesus's birth, which is idolatry to celebrate that in the first place. But okay. But they moved it to Saturnalia because that was already like the party time. And that's where all this comes from. Now, Saturn in particular, the god Saturn, he was a very benevolent god. He ruled over a golden age where people didn't get sick. They didn't die. They didn't, you know, it was just like a wonderful time in human history. It's basically the Garden of Eden, essentially. And he didn't start to get, yes, there was maybe like later on, there was more of like a finality that came with it, because his rule was usurped, as everybody's was back then. Until Zeus, he's the only one that I think he got to keep it. So like over time, his worship just became like that. That's the first Santa Claus. He was that's it, you guys. It was Saturn. So all this negative stuff really starts to come in after Christianity takes a very big role in astrology. So early Christianity was, they were astrologers too. It wasn't weird. I mean, it's weird to look at now, and they started to see the word Saturn. They saw the correlation to the Hebrew Satan, also known as Satan, who, I know I'm like going like down a huge tangent.
No, go
we've talked
do
about
it.
this in a while.
Yes.
Satan, okay, was not the antithesis of God. This concept of like there's God and Satan and they're butting heads, this is a Zoroastrian concept. There was no such thing in the Hebrew religion, because God was in Hashem, or whatever you want to call him, Yahweh, El. He was just God. That was it for them. Okay. So like there was no like ultimate bad. That didn't happen. This is a later development that comes out of later Christianity, because the Greeks, who were creating Christianity kind of on the fly in the centuries following Jesus's death, they were taking all these old stories from all over the world. They took some from Egypt. They took some from Persia, which is the Zoroastrian stuff. Zoroaster, why can't I say his name? Zoroaster. Okay, whatever. Zoroastrian guy.
Yeah.
He was also said to be born of a virgin. Inanna, as we talked about earlier, she dies and is resurrected after 3 days. Osiris also has to be killed to basically sacrificed. I believe on a tree. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. There's like a hanging aspect to it. I don't know. Anyways, Christian myth is like an amalgamation of all these other cultures. It's not its own thing. So why was it? Oh, so going back to like this whole idea of like Satan being this horrible, entity or whatever, like that wasn't even a thing. The whole, even demons, I don't believe demons are a Hebrew phenomenon. I believe that comes from Mesopotamia as well. The Zoroastrians are the ones who changed the word daemon, which it wasn't. It was it's close to deva, which is the Sanskrit word for God. I think it's daeva. So Avestan, which is Old Persian, has a lot of overlap with Sanskrit. And both of those words, they just meant like a spirit, like some very powerful spirit. Well, the Zoroastrians, they did the same thing that Christianity did. They're like, no, every other's gods, they're all demons. Like only our gods are the real gods. And so the Zoroastrians also had the first Trinity. I mean, technically you can say the Mesopotamians had the Trinity with the moon, sun, and Venus, but not in the same way that like the Zoroastrians or the Christians did. But they had this Trinity, and the Christians, copied that too. All that stuff's heresy, you guys. It's straight up heresy. Now, if you want to be a Christian, like that's cool, do your thing. I love all my Christian brothers and sisters. I like, you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, like from a historical standpoint, that's where that stuff comes from. This is a really long way to say of like the negative stuff revolving around Saturn. This is developed over time, and it's based on nonsense. It's just nonsense. So go back.
Well, even the gap between using the real sky and having a 30-degree gap and just using mathematics or whatever it is that mainstream astrology is doing, like it created such a gap. Like we don't even use the real sky because of that, of all the stuff that was happening with religion. And at the time, I think it was, well, the Library of Alexandria was burned down, I believe, was over religious, wars. I think it had something to do with Christianity.
Yeah.
A bunch of, I don't know the exact story behind it, but I did long time ago run into a guy who was like, "Oh, you're into all that shit. Well, look up the Council of Nicaea.
Yeah.
Look that up." And when was that? That was
Council of Nicaea.
It was in the early 900s. I believe it was.
Maybe.
It was like the early 900s, I think. I looked it up the other day.
Okay,
and I can't remember. But the Council of Nicaea, that's when everybody got together and decided how you were going to be a Christian, how you were going to believe. Though they were going to write a book that you were all going to read, and you were all going to worship their God, or heaven help you, they're going to kill you, your family. They're going to salt the earth. They're going to make sure that you comply and give your tithings to the church. And all that history has kind of been erased, really. I mean, we know it happened, but they really kind of like, I don't know, sugarcoat it a little bit. Like, because we all love Jesus so much, we decided to kill you all.
Some of them Jesus a little too much. If you go back and read, they liked him a little too much. There's some definite weird stuff, like some of these theologians, like famous ones. I'm kind of trying to think of their names. They wrote all these journals, and they would talk about like how, like these priests would write these stories about like how they dream about licking Christ's foot, like weird stuff. It gets
oh my God, weird. Foot fetish shit. No,
all kinds of stuff, like talking about like sensually kissing Christ's lip. Yeah, like go back and not that. I mean, if you want to be, I don't care if you're a Catholic, whatever. But like, you don't hear about that in catechism, do you? No. No, they don't tell you about all the weird stuff. If you suppress your sexual energy, like you're definitely gonna have stuff's gonna go wrong. Okay, like,
it does. It always does.
It's not meant for that. Like some people do it for sure. I was thinking about this the other day. Too much information. Too bad, you guys. I'm wired now. I don't know what's happening. But I was walking home from the store and I was just thinking about like all these people who can just like totally like just hook up with strangers. Like just you just met this person tonight. Like I don't want to shake somebody's hand. Like I shake somebody. If I touch like the gas pump at the gas station, like I immediately got a hand sanitize. Like I'm thinking about that.
Right. I can't even imagine for touching my face, my own face. Yeah. No, I just can't
even imagine doing something like that. It's too gross. I just can't. But if that's your thing, whatever. Some people can do it. Oh, but what I was thinking of was like, Like I have like a handful of priests and nuns in my family, and I think some people like they just channel their sexual energy differently, and that's also doable.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I don't know. I was talking about purity with Chelsea, and we were just talking about how it's so like it's just not for everybody. And I think, having this whole pressure to be pure, like where the hell did that come from? Like I don't know. We were laughing about it, and she's like, "Isn't that how the Holocaust started?" The purity.
Oh,
I was like, I don't know, but that's funny. And I was like, well, not funny. No, the Holocaust was not funny. Shit. Sorry.
There's definitely
the correlation between purity and
there is definitely an overemphasis on female virginity, which is not, I don't think it's necessarily helpful, especially when you consider how many young girls are assaulted and never, like, they have to go through life, like, people don't know, and they just have to go through life thinking that they're just, garbage because, something happened to them.
And the family decides to protect the abuser. We see it right now with all of these. Okay, there's more than 20 women. There's more than that. The people have come out in droves accusing these elitists of all of this heinous, awful shit. And they're ignored. They're ignored. Their names are left in the records, and their abusers' names are blocked out. Other countries have given everybody those names. It's unredacted. But here in the United States, we make sure we shame women. We make sure that we don't, give them any justice, anything. It's really hard to, and then they're painted as these horrible creatures that are just after your money. They just want your money. They're just lying to try to destroy this man.
Your average person doesn't buy that. Nobody's buying it.
Nobody's buying it.
Nobody's buying it.
I don't know. There's something happening with the, with feminine energies. And I think it's just been suppressed so much that it's gonna fucking rage soon. Like you cannot be this evil and abusive and suppressive and not suffer the consequences or have any accountability for those actions. And it isn't about, the matriarchy taking over and the patriarchy stepping aside. That's not even what it's about. Yeah, good balance. So I have no idea like where this is going or how it's developing, but people are pissed. Women are pissed. We've gotten completely like written out of history. Like it's ridiculous. And then when they do give you a few women in history, we get like Helen Keller,
I'm not laughing at
No, like I'm just like, really? These are they teach us about women that are just going to sacrifice everything for the greater good. Like they don't, I don't know. I just feel like history.
The first named author in human history is a woman.
Yeah, I'm surprised they let her have that.
Well,
I'm surprised they weren't like, oh, this is her husband.
She was the daughter of Sargon of Akkad, who was the first king of the Old Akkadian period. So basically, like right after, it was basically Sumerian. So that's what I'm trying to say. That was a really long way of saying that. So different culture, different, again, didn't have the women must be subservient situation.
I mean, we've changed now. I mean, obviously, women all over the world play a different role. We're we're allowed to drive. We're allowed to work. We're allowed to do things up until recently. Yeah, in this country. I mean, but it wasn't but what, 40, 50, maybe 50, 60 years ago? Like women couldn't even have their own like bank account. I think it was in the 1970s.
They couldn't vote and stuff.
Yeah, couldn't vote. I mean, we got beat up for wanting to vote. We couldn't even jog in your goddamn races. I mean, your marathons. Like we just weren't allowed to do anything. Isn't that a bummer? Don't guys think that that's a bummer? I don't know. If I was a man, I'd be like, I want my wife to have like all the same privileges I have. Like, why the Why the hell do I have to frickin'
I don't think
do
that's
everything?
I don't think that's.
Maybe it's because I'm lazy. I'm like, I feel like I should have a team member. I feel like I shouldn't have to carry the burden of all of this shit. Women feel the same way.
Not all cultures were like the Celtic culture was also very. Women were not treated subservient whatsoever. I say the Celtic culture. I mean, that may have varied from region to region, but
yeah,
like in the British Isles and stuff in particular, like it was again closer to the Sumerian culture, although women were like part of the warrior class and stuff too. There was not this rigid what do we call that, like need for purity and whatnot. Now again, I'm not saying, again, I don't think hookup culture is good for many reasons either, but also like putting just an unnecessary amount of putting your value as a human being based on how many people you've had sex with is gross. That shouldn't have anything to do with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it should be your actions and your character and your behavior and how you like help other people. Like that should be what we base that on, not how many dudes you bang. So I don't know. That's my take on it. I don't know if you guys.
I've got friends who've banged a lot of dudes and they don't regret anything, and I enjoy their stories. You know, I'm like, this is awesome. When Venus was on Antares, I have this client who comes in, and oh my God, I knew, I was like, Venus is on Antares, I'm going to hear some shit, and I did. She told me her entire sexual history in like a 15-minute time frame. And I was upset because I had hit her vape pen at one time. And I was like, oh my God.
See, you don't know.
If I'd have known where your mouth had been, I wouldn't have hit that thing. But I was trying to help her unplug it. So it's not, I don't like vaping. But yeah, it was interesting. And I still think it's really cool. Like, and she didn't have any regrets. She was like, yeah, this is my experience in life. And I just don't feel like I should be ashamed of that. And I was like, I don't fucking think you should be either.
I remember too, what I was thinking after on my grocery store walk on the way home. Yeah. The other thing was like people give prostitutes a hard time. Now, granted, a lot of prostitutes are trafficked and they're not just like, hey, I think I'm going to go do this, as a job. Some of them are though. Some of them like your higher echelons of prostitutes. And I don't understand why accepting money for something that everybody else is just doing for free. Like, how is that worse? Like, this seems like a better arrangement. Like, if you're just going to do that for free and get God knows what, why not get paid for it? I just think that's ridiculous.
Thank you. Yeah. My client was doing that actually, but
I think that is a respectable profession, and I think it's ridiculous.
She was so funny. She's like, that's my first John. Okay, this was my first John, and I got hired and fired in the same day. He saw me, was like, no, and so the dude I was working with, he was like, you're my driver now. So she still found a way to work with it. But I don't know. That was just her life. That was just the way it's been for her. And shit, life isn't easy for everybody. And sometimes, I don't know, she didn't care about money. She didn't care about that shit. She just cares about, being wild, being alive, feeling alive again. She did the whole family thing, the whole like nuclear family thing. And it just brought her down. She couldn't handle it. She was like, I need to like be free. And some people just need that. They can't be bogged down with all of the weird structures that life introduces to you. Like, you go to high school and you follow this regimen, this routine. And then when you're done, you go to college and you follow this routine. And then when you're done with that, you get a job and you work 9 to 5 and then you follow that routine. Like, that's not for everybody.
No,
not everybody's built for that. Some people are shoved into that box so hard that when they break out, they just fucking go wild. They go absolutely crazy. And then they come in and they tell me all the stories about it. I'm like, wow, how are you alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some really cool people. Like, I've met some really cool people, and they've just had real life experience. I've been like the 1950s housewife for like the last 20 years, always getting stuck at home and never being able to like do anything fun. Well, like, not like that, Not like that kind of fun.
Meth fueled orgies or anything?
No. It's Not that it never came up, I'm sure. And when I was cleaning rooms, I would get invited in all the time. I was like, oh, that's normal. Some of my coworkers had extracurricular, like an extra side job doing that. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool.
Well, I'm
and
saying
interesting.
people can do it for free. Now, again,
Or fun
I'm not
or
talking
whatever.
about like you're basically enslaved by a pimp and you're getting, choked and beaten and like, forced to discard your unwanted offspring in a back alley, which is how a lot of prostitutes have, gone through life in years. But like, and seriously, if you're just going to go on Tinder and hook up with a new person every single night, you might as well get paid. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
I know. I had a coworker once who got called out at the bar because she was there with like somebody new, and it was somebody new every week. It was really cool for me. I was like, but she was like so embarrassed. She's like, yeah, he was yelling at me, and then he's like, weren't you just with my roommate? And it was so embarrassing. And I was like, well, isn't it true? I mean, just own it. Be like, yeah. And he was lame and he sucked. Right. now I'm with this guy. I don't know. I'm not that cool, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know that it's
a
cool thing. I don't know that it's cool
like,
per se. I think you do have to be
everybody's more social than I am.
Brave person. Like, because I listen to, okay, so some of these stories, I must have been on like a rampage. I was listening to that Ashley lady's, her YouTube channel. You guys go check it out. Like, it's really good. And she just tells stories like I'm telling a story. Like, it's just like listening to her talk. And I don't know, there's something about it where I think it's good. But I'm like trying to put myself in these positions. And I'm like, the thought of getting into a car with a complete stranger, like, I'm just like, this guy's going to take my organs. And I don't know. I've done that stuff before. Like I've gotten in cars with strangers and it was horrifying the whole time. Like at no point was I not scared, except the times I was on drugs. That was,
yeah. Those were the times I was not scared. I don't know. I lived a completely different life before I got married and had kids. And then I spent a really good amount of time just being really good girl, I guess. So I have the chance to be wild now and I'm too tired.
Yeah.
I'm just too tired. I go to bed early. I get up early. I don't have the energy. I mean, I'm turning 43 and I'm ready to just like get the long nightgowns and just give up. Just, like, read my books and put my glasses down at the end of my nose and just be old lady.
I don't know. I did like, I lived in Florida, so you can use your imagination.
Yeah.
But like I just did all that stuff because like everybody else was there and I was just there. So but like that wouldn't have been my first. I was pissed I had to leave the woods and put shoes on and like go get a job and like go be a real person. Like that was really hard for me. I was not prepared for that. Like I was still building forts and like, like hanging out in the woods, doing stuff like when I was 18. Like it took a long time for it was like, no, like you probably should, And I went right from that to Florida, which was not
holy shit. That's crazy. You hated Florida. Didn't you hate Florida?
Well, Florida makes everyone insane. I think it's too much sunshine. There's also a lot of old, like there's like vortices, whatever. Like it's a weird place, paranormal.
It's too close to the Bermuda Triangle. Which, they taught us about that when we were kids, and I thought it would be more of a problem than in like
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, how do they keep sending ships and planes through there then?
Yeah.
We haven't heard a damn thing about it.
Yeah, I don't talk about it as much now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it was a good experience, but I just like I don't know. I was thinking about it today too. Like I'm so weird. Like by anybody's normal person standards, I'm so weird. And I'm like, you know what? If somebody would be mean to me about that, like as long as whatever I'm doing is weird and PG-13, I just don't know why anybody cares. Like let me be as weird as I want to be. There's nothing I can do about it, There's just nothing. There's nothing. I've tried.
I just had a friend share. Well, a client came in shopping, and we started talking, and it turned into like a really long conversation. And she had shared a story with me because she had been a hairstylist too. And she wanted to be like rich too. And she wanted to do all the celebrity hair and all of that stuff. And so she moved to Miami, just up and decided, I'm moving to Miami. It's going to be great. And
I think she means
like,
hot.
Well, she's built for the weather, you know, so she's like, I fit right in, you know, I look like all the natives. I look like everybody else, you know, and I'm fitting in. And she's like 3 months in and she's like, it's the nightlife. She goes, and I go to bed early. Okay. So like there you go right there. And what really did it was that she got invited to a mixer on a yacht where, you know, she thinking you're going to, you know, network, you know, so she's all excited and she's got her business cards and she shows up on this yacht and they
was it an orgy yacht?
It was an orgy yacht.
Yeah,
it was an orgy yacht, lots of coke and cool
if there's
stuff.
a yacht, there's an orgy, you guys.
Yeah, she didn't know though. She's like naive like me. So she was like, so I saw what was going on. I grabbed my little purse and my cards and I went and hid in the bathroom until we docked.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then I knew I had to move back home.
Well, that's how those people get sucked into the whole Epstein stuff. That's like people are, one of my clients is like, how could that ever happen? I'm like, oh, I for sure could have easily gotten sucked in just being clueless.
Yeah.
You don't know until you, you know, somebody drugs you, you wake up after post orgy and now somebody's got dirt on you. Listen, you're going to do whatever I say now. I'm going to tell your family you're a bad person. You know, like there's so many ways that could easily happen.
Yeah, Puff Daddy was doing that. Like, then that what he went to got convicted for?
Yeah, how did he get
out
of jail? No, he did.
He's not out of jail. He's in
yeah, he did. He was at the Grammys or something the other day, wasn't he?
Shut up, was he?
I think so. I'm pretty sure he got out of jail like forever ago. Unless we're living in like overlapping timelines. I'm telling you what.
It could be.
I'm starting to buy this whole like time is getting messed up because like all kinds I hear stuff all the time now. I'm like, that's not what happened. And it's too many things to like even stop my day and write down. I'm like, what are these people talking about? Like we just had this conversation the other day and that's not reality. So I don't know. I think stuff is
reality is getting weird. Reality is changing. I can't get a grip on it. I'm like, what day is it? What time is it? Like, it's been happening now for a long time, more than a few weeks. And I thought, well, it'll go away after the conjunction, you know, like, no, it's still all
it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird for a while.
Yeah. Having weird dreams. It's just, everything's weird.
World of Bliss. I'm in St. Pete, Florida. You know what? World of Bliss. That's where we used to go to get all the drugs. To drive down to St. Pete. That's where you go. You know what's cool? You know what's cool, you guys? I don't know. So I'm from Michigan, and like we have Detroit hood and we have Flint hood. There's probably some, other hoods, but those are like, the bigger ones. We went to the hood in Florida all the time. And let me tell you, you guys got an awesome hood. Okay. Like it's beautiful. You guys have palm trees. Like your houses are made of bricks instead of like burned down wood. Like it's I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I remember my first ride into the projects down in Florida. My cousin's like, don't look at anybody. Don't look. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is awesome. Like, I want to live here. Holy Toledo.
It's like the first time I went to Milwaukee.
I've been to the Milwaukee hood.
We're going to go pick up a QP. Don't look at anybody. Yeah. I look at somebody and she comes over and talks to me.
Northern hood's a different hood. It is a different hood for sure. When you start to get up, people are angrier. It's not. It's not pleasant.
Well, I don't know. When I was younger, I looked like I was a little. I looked like a little kid. Everyone thought I was like way younger than what I was. And I was young. Yeah.
And they were still letting you hang out with them, which is horrifying.
I was like 13, 14, hanging out with people that were way older than me. But I was really grown up.
I'm sure you were. Would you let your 13-year-old hang out with those people?
My kids, they just think that they made a few little mistakes here and there, like just kids just being kids, and it was the end of the world. My one daughter was like, "Oh my God, I skipped out of school that one time and I drank.
Oh my God,
you must think I'm horrible." And I'm like, I laughed at her. I was like, I would disappear for days. Nobody knew where I was. Nobody
That's
knew
crazy.
anything. I was like, and yeah, it was fun. It was great. I just gave myself the freedom. So I'm like, you guys are.
I'm glad you
actual
made
angels.
it, Nikki. I'm glad you made it through childhood.
I don't know how I did.
I don't know
really
either.
don't. There's been so many times I should be dead.
You
actually.
talk a lot
I
of
should
smack
be
to your
dead.
guides, but I think you need to be like, thanks for getting me through.
No,
'cause
they
it could have gone wrong so many
it was
times.
so like I had such a bad upbringing. Like I love my family and you know the people in my immediate family. They were really challenging to live with, and it was a really challenging way to grow up. And it was there's a lot of alcoholism, a lot of violence, a lot of fighting, and just a lot of not cool shit all the time. So it hit a point where I could get the fuck out. I'm just gonna get out anytime I can. And I didn't really connect with anybody after a while, like in my family. So to me, it was just like, well, if something happens to me, nobody will care. Nobody's gonna call, nobody's gonna look. So what does it matter? So I don't know. It's different now, obviously. We're all older and we all connect in our own little ways, but I don't know. I still don't feel super connected to my family. Like we have things happen in the family and they never tell me unless I see it on Facebook or somebody sends me a picture. I'm like, oh, I don't know what was going on. Nobody told me anything.
I'm telling you, it's the Mars in Aries. I'm telling you, Nikki.
They call me when they need me to do something.
It's jealousy.
You think so? I don't know. Like I just wish it was different.
Yes.
But it's really complicated and long, and I'm not painting anybody as a bad person or anything like that, but
you're allowed to. It's okay.
Like family dynamics, or fucked up. Let's just say I came from a fucked up home, just like most people. So,
yeah.
But I survived it. I survived barely.
Yeah, I know very few people who grew up in a cleavers, style household.
Very rare.
Yeah.
I remember when it clicked because there were a few of my girlfriends that I was close with who had really abusive parents, really abusive fathers too. And there was a lot of really weird shit going on. And then I found out too, as I got older, a lot of the kids had alcoholic parents. They had a lot of fighting in the house. They had a lot of instability, a lot of, not cool stuff. It was kind of bonded over it then with drugs and alcohol. You're like, oh, you hate your house too? I hate mine too. Let's just bond over it. I just partied all the time. So I was like, I want to forget this experience.
Yeah.
I want to forget this. But this is the way it was. We grew up in the sticks. There was nothing to do. And where we grew up, alcoholism is super prevalent. Everybody drinks, and if you don't drink, you're weird.
I think that's common in rural America, everywhere. I think that's normal.
Yeah, Wisconsin's a little bit more special, though, you guys.
With more alcoholism.
It's the drunkest state.
I've heard that it is.
Counties.
I've heard that that's true.
We also produce a lot of serial killers. So our last female serial killer was, I believe she's from Green Bay. And she dismembered a guy. And she said it wasn't the first person that she
had practice. She had some experience.
Yeah. It's pretty unnerving. Because his mom, it was right here in this city, and his mom found his head in a bucket. And that's how, dude, I'm telling you, Wisconsin's fucking weird, you guys. Don't come here unless you're just going to come for a Packer game and then leave.
I don't think this is the right audience for that. I don't think anybody here is watching football.
Maybe not. I don't know. But I've been trying to escape for ever. I even have a little Post-it note, move out of Green Bay, just to remind me. But I feel like I'm stuck in a cult. I love my coworkers. I love my job. I have the best job in the world. But there's after being here for 20 plus years, I'd love to get.
It's good to leave. It's good to get out and reroute yourself somewhere else and just be in a new place.
Wisconsin does have a lot of really cool things, though. I mean, we have good food. I think cheese curds, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the positive things. I'm like, it's not all alcoholism and
we also have
and
cheese
serial killers. You know, we have some pretty good food here, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll end it there, I guess. I'm not selling anybody on Wisconsin and on this call today. Yeah, you're not missing anything here, guys. Not at all. And the weather changed. The weather is really weird.
It's all they're weather engineering the entire country.
Yes, I know, and
it's all weird everywhere. It's not normal.
I can tell. I saw an old video of this woman who it was the 90s, and she was talking about the elitists, like the exact stuff that came out now. She had already been talking about it, and she said that it was up in Mackinac Island. They own a bunch of land, and they own a bunch of land up in Wisconsin and Michigan, and that's where they would bring her to do awful things to her, and when she was a kid. And I was like, is that why the weather's so great around here now? We haven't been getting a lot of snow, and all of a sudden it's just kind of like super mellowed out. I was like, do we have a lot of, crazy like things going on, and cabin in the woods kind of shit happening?
Maybe.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but my imagination's been running wild since all this crazy stuff came out. So
yes.
I don't know what's real, what's true, what to believe, what not to believe. The email, I haven't looked at any of these emails that people are talking about. I've just been going off secondhand information because I cannot handle it. I just can't physically handle it. I will vomit all over the place.
It's bad. It's pretty bad.
I will vomit. And I will probably cry a little bit.
It's not new, though. Again,
it's not new.
But it is, I think it is good. People need to know what's going on. As bad as it sucks, you need to know
you're right.
if your bed is full of brown recluse spiders, right? Like, you need to know what you're up against. And so then you can make a decision of, first and foremost, like, protect your children and yourself and your family, because it's not just like elites, like there are predators everywhere. But also like recognize that your government is illegitimate and is run by a bunch of baby pedophiles. Yep. Satanic pedophiles. Like, I hate to, like, again, I know we've talked about this before. Like, I know Satanists, and a lot of them are really nice people. Like, who cares, But that's not what this is. This is definitely people are doing really.
Yeah, but they're not eating people. They might sacrifice a goat. They might sacrifice an animal.
I don't think they do.
Have
I don't think they
bonfire,
have. Yeah, I don't know that they get too many goats. Goats are expensive just for like a sacrifice. But
well, chickens.
I mean. Well, that's a biblical thing too. Like, that's not even satanic. So you guys know about the sheep of atonement?
Stop.
You guys know what the sheep of atonement is in the Bible? I think it's
I've heard of that.
Or Leviticus. Yeah. So basically, every year you're supposed to. Well, not just every year. Anytime you commit an offense against God, this is in the Hebrew Bible, so the Old Testament. You're supposed to, and this goes for Christians too. You're supposed to sacrifice this, put all your sin into the sheep, and then kill the sheep. Well, over time, it got to, like, those are expensive, right? You can't just put all your, and this is anything, you guys, like any tiny sin. You have to, they kill chickens, but like practicing Jews, every year they basically like put all of their sins into an animal and then kill it. And they don't eat it. I've heard that they donate it to the poor. So the poor person then gets all the sins, but they don't care because, they're heathens basically. So I guess that doesn't matter to them. But yeah, it's weird. A lot of weird stuff all over the world. It's been going on forever, and we're getting to see it up close and personal. It's kind of gross, but here we are.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be like this, but I kind of knew it was going to be like. I was just really hoping it wasn't going to be like.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely.
Yeah. My guides and I, we've talked about weird shit before, and I'm like, all right. Yeah, they've talked to me about alien stuff, but when I ask them questions, their faces just go blank, and they're like, ugh. I'm like, okay, so you're not going to divulge. It's just. So what is it? Is it really people? Is it really like some underground alien race? What is it? I just got nothing. Use a blank. Like, tell me everything you know, and they won't.
Yeah, sometimes they won't. If they think it's gonna do something, they won't do it. World of Bliss says, my mother got a Mars-Mercury conjunction in the 7th house Aries and is verbally abusive, confrontational, critical, loud, and forceful, always threatening, very disturbing placement for people around her. I'll tell you what, Mars-Mercury get together. That's a legit one. We need to explore that one more on a further date because
and she's so right, because I used to scare the shit out of people. Like, if they fucked with me, I just would raise my voice and I would just let them have it, and like everyone was scared, and I'm like, why? I'm like little Nikki, like, I don't know. But yeah, in order to hang out with like really tough people, you had to be tough too. So like, we all would carry knives and stuff. So, okay, never mind. I don't want to give away too much.
Yes,
definitely feeling the Aries, Mercury, Mars conjunction. Yes.
Yeah, well,
not to that degree, though. I mean,
I believe
at my kids, but
if I'm not mistaken, now this is not to the same extent, and we can talk about this at a later date. I think it's worth talking about because this is something that one of the events that happened in America that actually affected the entire. Set it on the ground. Stand by. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to teach my family that I'm not the house servant and that they can actually do things on their own without my help. So it is a challenge.
That's
yes,
hard.
okay.
Yes.
It's a transition that we're going into. So, but the week that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Mars and Mercury were in Libra conjunct. I believe that's where they were at the time.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And I remember because I had gone back through the forecast from the previous year. And one of the things that I had mentioned was that there's like some intense news coming out and like a lot of people are crying, something to that effect. And that wasn't the only time. Like, there's been other Mars Mercury conjunctions that have had like weird stuff like that happen. But the Charlie Kirk thing affects the entire world because that multiple countries are involved for one thing. He was in part killed because of his shifting views on Israel and the Genocide J, that type of thing. So, but that'd be an interesting thing to take a look at sometime. You guys, I gotta go. I'm starving.
Yes.
I'm starving.
Yes. I'm surprised I didn't get kicked off again.
Well, maybe whatever you did, fix it.
I hope so. I don't know. I didn't do anything. I was like praying. It's like, please, just let me be on here.
Well, it worked. Whoever you prayed to, it worked. Do you guys want to hear the intro as an outro, or do we just want to end the stream? I don't know.
I kind of like the outro.
Okay. I don't know if I can do it and coordinate it without. I'll have to kick us off. Okay. So we'll be back, you guys. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel. Eventually, we'll move everything over to the Sidereal Rising thing, but we still can't live stream over there. So we have to wait until we get so many months and so many views or whatever. So hopefully we'll have that going soon. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. Check out siderealinternational.org. Check out all the events. Register for all the free events in the video description. I think that's it, right? That's good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try this, you guys. Let's see if I can do it. All right, Silly Ma, have fun, and we'll see you next time. I think when I switch over, we'll still be on the screen. So don't say anything crazy. All right, here we go. Maybe.
Real sky burning slow. Magic